you and welcome to the Big Story on Quest Television. I am Marvelous Akwin, and today on the Big Story, we tackle the most pressing issues shaping our world, and we are diving into global movements that's gaining momentum lately. The campaign to stop killer robots. And killer robots, autonomous weapons and machines that can select and eliminate targets without human intervention. You're no longer just science fiction, you're no longer just in the movies, they are actually real as it can get. So this morning, joining us today to make sense of it all is Ambassador Caroline Usikpedu Ulisio. Good morning and thank you for joining me this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Right. So there's been so many campaigns, so many reports regarding this. We'll just quickly take a video of these CSOs that have been moving for the campaign to end killer robots. And when we come back, our guest will help us talk more about it this morning. Please stay with us. Now, so many persons are not even aware of what it is. Before now, I used to think it was just all about, the action movies like the Squid Games, Terminator, and all of that. I had no idea that it was even out there or that it was real at all. So I'll start with the first question. I'd like you to tell us exactly what killer robots are. What is killer robots?
Thank you so much. So the killer robots are machines that have been manufactured to take life without any human intervention. They can come in form of toys,
Okay.
but they are used for warfare.
Wow.
They can be sent. And some of these machines, once you place that picture of the person you want to eliminate,
Yes.
you just send it. It goes and take that target and then come back.
Wow.
So a lot of issues have been happening around the world. Of course, we saw this war that is ongoing in different countries.
Yes.
You can see what is happening there. They just figure a target and then before you know, they say it's gone down. No physical person goes up. Now, the issue is about living the life of people to a machine to decide.
At the mercy of a machine. That's too much.
Yes.
That's too much. Now, let's talk about the campaign to stop killer robots. What is it all about?
So, a lot of civil society organizations saw the need to have a legally binding instrument to curb the killer robots.
Okay.
So this coalition in 2012, global civil society activists, actors came together and said, look, we must call for a treaty. Because, at the United Nations, once there is a treaty, it becomes an instrument that guides the various countries.
Okay.
That's the states. They call them the states, the member states.
Okay.
So, but for us to have a legally binding instrument on this issue of the killer robot, there must be a consensus. So this campaign came together to say, look, we must begin to call our governments to take action. So in 2012, we all agreed that we are doing this.
Yes.
And it was officially launched in 2013. Since 2013 till date, we have been on the issues of advocacy. We are trying to sensitize the various governments. Of course, there will be challenges because government is short-term.
Yes.
They come and they go, they come and they go, and once a new government comes, we start again. Because nobody is passing over what has been discussed to the next one. So we are calling on member states to sign a document. If you agree that there should be a legally binding instrument, then the world will be safe for us. It will be safe for you, to be safe for your children and your entire family. We're not talking about Nigeria alone, we're talking about the entire world. Now, the United Nations have put up several negotiations. So, like in Geneva, that's where they gather to discuss. And these meetings is where we send our diplomats to represent the various countries. When they go there, are they taking the issue of life and death there, or we are just going there to participate in the meetings and come back. There is a call for countries to sign on. You must agree. Like, for example, when they did the Sustainable Development Goals,
Yes.
193 member states
Yes.
signed that we are good to go. That was why it came into effect. So we are looking for those number of countries to agree that there should be a binding document. It's not been easy because countries like China, they mass produce this stuff and they are in business.
Yes.
But funny enough, China said, we will sign your treaty, but you cannot stop the production. We will still produce because we're in business. We can't shut down our business. But we agree that there should be a legally binding document. So how do we go?
It's going to be quite a tough one. I mean, particularly this concerns raised by China. Yes, they are business, they want to make profit. But yes, they can sign a treaty. But if the continued production is still there, then where is now the ban? But talking about the ban and all of that, let's talk about what concerns or what dangers exactly does the killer robots pose to developing countries, particularly.
We are very vulnerable.
Okay.
Developing countries are very vulnerable.
Indeed.
Yes. So this brings me now also to the issue of China.
Okay.
When China made that statement, US made another statement that if this country is not stopping development, then we too will not stop, because we will not fold our arms for anybody to save the lives of all our people.
All right. We'll get back to that. Let's just go for a commercial break. Please stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Glad to have you back on the big story this morning, talking about stopping killer robots, the fight for a ban. And this morning on the program, I still have Ambassador Caroline Osikwedu Olisiomi, and she's the Executive Director, Normal Women for Peace Development International. Glad to have you back once again.
Thank you.
All right, so we were just talking about what are some of the concerns or dangers that killer robots pose to developing countries. And you had just made a statement before we cut you off there, talking about China being on the business side, still trying to make profits, but then they are willing to sign a treaty, they are willing to sign, and then they still want to continue in business. What exactly would this be? How dangerous could it be for developing countries now, like Nigeria, who, I mean, we're not on the producing end, not on the manufacturing end. I mean, it's going to be a lot for developing countries, but what are the particular dangers that it poses for them?
The dangers is that we do not really know what it's all about. So it can be used by anybody.
Okay.
Once you can afford it, then you begin to get them. Let's not look at the bigger ones. There are smaller ones.
Okay.
That's why we are linking it with artificial intelligence. Because we are now beginning to tell our children, oh, AI is the in thing.
Yes.
AI is the in thing. We are looking at only the positive side of AI. The negative side of AI is the killer robots. When our children begin to manufacture smaller drones that can fight, that can detect and then hit a target, then we are in for it. Of course, you know that we do not have control, and it will go like wildfire and then begin to be used by everybody. We are still battling with insecurity.
Indeed, yes.
And if they get to have access to these, then the danger is over 100%. So we must act fast.
We must act fast. Now, talking about acting fast, what's your call to action from Nigerian government? What is expected of them at this time?
The parliamentarians is the first point of call. They need to heed the call. We have what we call the parliamentary pledge. Once the parliamentarians are able to commit that, yes, we have recognized that killer robots are dangerous to lives, and we value the lives of our constituents. Therefore, there is need for a call for a treaty. They will now pass it on to Foreign Affairs, where you have our diplomats, the ambassadors, who are representing us in all these United Nations meetings on conventional weapons. There they can make a statement. very good to say that 2 years back, Nigeria woke up and then they made a statement. And this statement, they even took the lead of the African group. But as they return back to Nigeria, that is the end of the story. I mean, we need to push. We can't just go and join people and read statements and then come back and then we do not act.
Nothing about it, yes.
We must act now. There is need for consciousness. There is need for awareness. We are willing to educate everybody. If you go to Netflix, you will see the trailer.
Yes.
Instead, there is even one, no one country will be safe. If you watch that video, man, you will know that we are sitting on a time bomb. The time to act, to ban killer robots, it's now. Yes. We can never allow a machine to decide who lives and who will not live. It's inhuman.
Indeed, yeah. It does seem inhuman. Now, yes, you know that, yeah, there are supposed to be campaigns for this and all of that. But what strategies are your organization and other CSOs putting in place to get the Nigerian government to support this ban?
So we have been doing a lot of meetings, a lot of advocacies. We have our partners in Abuja also, because Noble Delta Women is co-convening the campaign, the coalition with IANSA Women in Abuja. So we are meeting, in fact, we've met with the military, we've met with the civil defense people, even the parliamentarians, severally we've met with them. And then foreign affairs will continue to engage with foreign affairs because they are the ones representing us in this meeting.
Yes.
Yes. And they vote. They vote against an important resolution at the UN General Assembly last year. Sometimes they abstain. You abstain, you vote, you did not vote. It's the same thing because it's not counted.
Yes.
We need to add our voice. Let's be counted because we need help at this time. Killer robots, you think is far, is in our backyards. A colleague of mine was going to work and passed through a corner and saw children using carbide to produce something. And she was very inquisitive and she asked, "What are you doing?" He said, "They are trying to produce machine gun." With this thing, he said yes, and then her mind runs to the killer robots. So that moment, we begin to go into schools to talk about killer robots. We encourage you to have artificial intelligence knowledge, but please use it for the positive side.
You know, that has always been the issue with knowledge. You know, there's knowledge out there, good, bad, you can grab as many as you want. The challenge has always been, what do you do with some of this knowledge? But do you see any scenario where any of these weapons could be ethical? You know, for some persons who go to wars, they'll tell you that, okay, instead of sending out soldiers to die out in wars, you can send the robots. But even with all of that, do you still see that, do you still think that there is no way it is used that is ethical at all?
It's unethical. No way. And just to add that, now, the discussions, why this campaign is gearing up so high, is that the discussions now is that a lot of things are shifting into AI.
Truly.
And now, even warfare, they are beginning to allow the soldiers to be in the cantonments, in the barracks.
Yes.
Then the machine goes. That instead of taking the human beings to go and lose their lives, let the machine go and destroy.
Yes.
But those the machines want to destroy, they are human beings too.
Truly.
So why do you live the life of a human for a machine to decide who lives and who does not live?
But I mean, that's basically what war has been about. One person just thinks that, okay, they are on the right side and they try to defeat the others. But then some governments argue that banning killer robots would weaken their national security. You know, you talked about the wars that have been all over the world, and you see some of these drones and even how it's just, they've just been all out there. So don't you think that these countries that love to use these things, don't you think they would not want to accept this because they feel it would weaken their own security?
Like I said, the thing is, if we all agree,
Okay.
like we need peace. Peace is paramount all over the world. The Sustainable Development Goals 16 talks about building institutions, peaceful institutions. You understand?
Yes.
So if we all commit to SDG 16 that we want to build peaceful institutions across the globe, we will all agree that we should ban killer robots. But what is holding some nationals now is the fear of the unknown. What if we agree and this does not agree? They know how to come together and say, look, gentlemen, we are agreeing on this. There will be series of consultations. They are ongoing. They know how to discuss. They know how to place them on the table. Everybody brings their challenges, what they are facing. And then you put it there and said, okay, so if we do this, we'll get this. Say, yes, then let's go. It's something they should agree upon. I'm calling on all of them, all over the world. They should agree because it's destructive. It's taking lives. More than we do not know. Because not all statistics are being put out there.
Yes.
Not all data comes out. But it's taking lives. Okay. Uganda is a living example.
Okay.
Algeria is a living example. And we have South Africa. We have about 6 countries in Africa.
You haven't mentioned Nigeria. What's
Nigeria haven't.
Oh,
yes, because Nigeria only participated in the Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons meetings
okay.
in the 80s. Yes, and then it ends there. They have not brought out that document. They need to ratify it. Yes, those people that participated in that meeting that time, they had interest and then they said, oh, it's good, we are good to go. But it must be ratified.
These systems are advanced and not infallible. Imagine an AI system trained to identify enemy tanks. It processes data at lightning speed, making decisions faster. It's advanced technology, and it's also advanced our understanding and control of human power tools. Protect civilians and ensure some measure of humanity in conflict. They operate on logical data, devoid of compassion, for understanding the value of human.
There's this regret that they can feel it, they've made a mistake and they try to correct their little machines. They don't realize that they have made a mistake, and even when you send them out there once again, they can also go ahead and make these silly mistakes. And it's just that. But then, could there be any sort of regulation to maybe, if at all, they are made like there is with weapons? Weapons are out there, but it's only it's only legal when it's in control of the government. People are not supposed to use it on license and all of that. What if they set up regulations like that? Do you think that would help the world get safer in any way?
Let me say, humanity is at risk, and we cannot allow it. Reason is that if you see this documentary,
Yes.
you see where Justicia, that symbol of justice, was shown.
Yes.
Who are you going to try for these crimes? You know, in some countries, when they use all these things, when a sane government comes in, they begin to try those people that were responsible for the deaths.
Yes. Yes.
Now, when a robot kills people at will, who are you going to try? The robot? Are you going to send the robots to the prison to pay for the crimes committed? What we are saying is that there can be robots, but the ones that are operated by human beings,
Okay.
not self machine that can decide and take lives. No, there should be some regulations.
Yes.
We cannot actually do without the AI, the autonomous weapon. But
Yes.
we are saying fully autonomous weapon. Fully means it can go, it can decide. Yes, there can be autonomous weapons, but those that are controlled by people.
Okay.
Yes. Because if you look at facial recognition,
Yes.
if it makes a mistake, who do you get back to? Because we have like 2 people's faces,
Yes.
whether I like it or not.
Yes.
Then if I am being charged for someone else, Let me give you an instance.
Okay.
In one of those international airports, we were traveling, and this guy was ahead of us. And immediately they just signaled him and put him aside. So because I do activism
Yes.
and as a human rights person, I stepped back. I needed to know what has
Okay,
happened
yes.
because we're coming from the same meeting.
Okay.
And they said he has an issue with this airport. Man, this guy, this is the first time he's passing through this airport. So I don't understand. So we started to investigate. I followed through this issue and we found out that he looks like someone else.
Yes.
So they had to apologize. But they took our time. We
Yes.
almost missed our flights. So just imagine, because they scanned the passport and then the face
Face,
looks
yes.
like the one that they have already marked red in their
Yes.
system. Who knows what would have happened that day? So that's what we are saying. There must be human control about lives.
Now, what can ordinary people do to support the Stop Killer Robots movement? Ordinary people like me and the people out there that are not in government or anything, what can they do on their part to stop these killer robots movements?
Take an action.
Okay.
Yeah, in your social media handle,
Okay.
just say Nigerian government heed the call, stop killer robots. The person on the street, they know how to do their placard. You know, you don't even need to go to the street. Sit in front of your house and just hold it. For killer robots, we take lives. We don't want it. It's something. Even the market woman, they should start discussing it because it's coming. Who knows that AI will get to us just like immediately?
Yes.
Even me, as exposed as I am, I'm still battling with the AI. But whether we like it or not is with us. Our mothers in the village, they are beginning to catch up with it.
Yes.
Then those people who do not have the privilege of formal education, if it gets to them, the usage will be suicidal. So everybody should take action. You have your representative, you have your House of Assembly member, you have your councillors from your wards. Let's begin to discuss fully autonomous weapons and its dangers that it will pose to our communities, to our lives, to our brothers, our sisters, and to our children.
For governments now all over the world, what can you say of their response towards this so far? Have they been for the ban or against the ban?
You know, the UN Secretary General has taken the lead.
Okay.
So they are for. But we need the voices of the various governments.
Okay.
They need to sign for a treaty to be passed.
Okay.
Yeah. There is need for a legally binding document. And even the Pope.
Okay, the Pope.
Yeah, the Pope made several statements at the Peace Summit, Paris Peace Forum.
Yes.
The Pope made a very good statement on having a ban on killer robots. You see,
If this is not banned in 20 years, what do you think the world will look like by then?
we pray that some of us will be there to tell the story. Yeah, that we called for it. Because it's dangerous and it's going to be, the effects will be devastating. Really.
Wow, it's going to be that devastating.
Yeah.
Well, it's quite an interesting discussion this morning. You know, talking about all of these bans and how it's quite sad that still this moment, the federal government of Nigeria still have not taken a stand on it. Do you think that maybe these organizations are not doing enough campaigns to put it out there? I mean, I just talked about until it was brought to me yesterday, I wasn't even aware of these things going on out there. So do you think that the campaign they are doing, that it's enough to let people aware that, well, there's something like killer robots out there, or there's a campaign to stop it out there?
Yes, because part of one of the program we did, we had a sensitization and awareness program for ECOWAS member states.
Okay.
In Abuja. So we invited a lot of all the governments, their representatives, including Nigerian representatives, was there. So they are aware. What we are saying is take action. move from paper to action. They are there in the file. Please dust the file and then let's take action. What is this issue we're talking about? Look at it yourself. Somebody must take the lead. And I am calling on our House of Representative members.
Okay.
I'm calling on my own from my local government, Isoko North. Please take action. It's getting closer. Do not think that it's a global issue. It affects the local communities too. And once it gets to your community, you will not have that peace that you want. We all must put our hands together to embrace peace and bring peace to our people globally and locally.
Oh, well, that's a very good one. But finally, I would like to ask you your advice to the people generally. You talked about how, yes, we can raise awareness on our own by going to social media and putting it out there, letting people know that it is out there. But what else can we do, and what's your advice to Nigerians generally regarding this issue?
Nigerians should make it public.
Okay.
Without any human intervention. And it's not good for it to exist. You can have your killer robots, but the ones that have meaningful development that people can control, human control, that's the one that we can have. Because we can't go against, but of course war must break out.
Yes.
And there must be some form of support.
Yes.
But the support should not be left to a machine to decide who lives and who dies. If not, the machine will count all the enemies people have and just go and finish them in one day. It doesn't take time, it just comes. If you like, let 200 of us be here. Once they give your picture, it comes into that mist and bring you out from the bottom, finish and then go. It's not going to shoot you a gun and then you have an injury and then they are going to treat. It's killing, it's finishing, turning you to dust and then it's leaving. That's it.
That's quite a lot. And from the discussion this morning about killer robots, you can see that it's not just about technology. It's more about what kind of future that we want. Mm-hmm. What kind of future do you want your children to grow up in? You know, a future where someone can just be in the comfort of their home, they make a little weapon that can knock at your door, you come out, open your door, and then it just eliminates the person. So the fight to stop killer robots isn't just about technology, it's about what kind of world we want to live in. Machines might be faster and more efficient, but should they ever have the power to decide who lives and who dies? That's the big question. And that's how we call it a wrap on the big story this morning. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. And thank you to our wonderful guest here, Ambassador Caroline Usipedu. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All right. And she is the Executive Director, Noble Women for Peace Development International. Many thanks for joining us once again. And to you, our viewers out there, thank you for being a part of the program this morning. Don't go away. Sports Shuffle with the sports team will be coming your way at 9:30. And you can join us tomorrow, same time and same station, for another wonderful edition of The Big Story. I remain Marvelous Akwi. Have a beautiful day ahead.
The campaign to stop Killer Robot Coalition in Nigeria is calling on everybody to join the call for a treaty on the ban on fully autonomous weapons. Stop killer robots now. Nigerian government heed the call.